Meeting to order. City of Dalhart, November 10th. First item is a prayer. Brian.
Now with me as we pray. Father, we're thankful for your faithfulness and just your many blessings. We just ask that you would put a hedge of protection around our community, as just many in our community are not feeling well, and just ask that even in the school district, you would protect our children and our teachers and allow us to continue to providing that service to our families and our students. Father, be with our police officers and our city workers and just those that serve us here in our community. Ask that you'd put your blessing and protection on them. Give us wisdom this evening as we look at the decisions before us. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. First item is consent agenda.
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
First item on the regular agenda is public comments. I do have one. Tammy Parker. Three minutes, James. Tammy,
Come on in.
come on in. You wouldn't mind standing here at the podium? We can listen to what you have to say, but we can't vote on it or do anything. And you get 3 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm here this evening to bring a concern and share a personal experience. At my home, we pay our bills and we normally pay our bills on time. We're not always perfect, and we realize that when a bill is paid late, there is a consequence. I get that, understand that. Last month, when paying our bills, one got buried under a pile and got missed. I assumed my husband had paid it. He thought I paid it. Fast forward a few days, we found the payment setting on the table. My husband delivered the check, and the check cleared our bank on October 27th. This happened to be our water bill, which is due on the 20th. Last night, imagine my surprise when I go to take a shower and there's no water at my house. My husband went out to find the lock on our meter. We discussed the issue and remembered the circumstance, and then checked online to make sure our payment had cleared. I then checked the mail to see if we had a notice. Didn't find one. I found our current water bill. That showed our account current other than the $15 and change late fee. There is not an emergency number listed on that statement. So I called the police station and they contacted the person on call. Dispatch called me back to say that they could not do anything without permission from City Hall. Long story short, I called this number. It gave me an emergency number. I got the same little gentleman. He couldn't help me. So this morning I called and spoke to the clerk, then Sarah, then Mr. Stroud. I was told that my water was cut off because I'd failed to pay the $15 and change late fee when I paid the bill. That surprised me. I could not imagine that my water was turned off without notice for failure to pay a $15 late fee, and was told that the city council makes the rules and that they have to follow them, and that I was sent a disconnect notice, but the post office is slow. I've lived in my home for 28 years. I was born and raised right here. And I know that when I've paid late in the past, the charge has gone on the next bill and nothing's ever happened. I will say it's not common that we pay late. However, the clerk informed me that we paid late in February. So she couldn't remove the reconnect fee from my bill because you have to have a 12-month period without a late fee. So I asked when this council meeting was, and it just happened to be tonight. So here I am with my 3 minutes. My plea is not for myself. I want this council to know that I am ashamed of this city for this reason. We're in a pandemic. And even though that has nothing to do with why I paid my bill late, I wonder how many others are affected. I can't imagine being a struggling family with school-aged children and finding my water turned off without a notice on a school night without a clue of who to contact or what to do. My bill was paid. The $15 late fee was not collected. For this council, especially at this time, to think it's okay to turn off a necessity because someone owes them $15 and change is pathetic. I urge you to look over your rules and decide if this is who we really want to be. Just so you know, my water, my late fee, my reconnect fee have all been paid. I just wonder how many others are sitting in their homes without water right now. I think you need to show some grace. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. First item, or second item, sorry. Conduct public hearing and second reading of ordinance 2020-13 on the proposed zone change of attractive land 235 feet wide, east and west, 370 feet in length, north and south, section 5, block 48, HNTC, City of Dalhart, Dalton County, from R3 residential and commercial to manufactured home to establish the manufactured home park.
I make a motion, we open the public hearing and second reading of ordinance 2020-13.
Motion made and second to open up this public hearing and second reading of ordinance 2020-13. Favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
This is a very much deal that y'all have gone over several times.
Yeah,
The wording's right.
and everything's right now.
This time, how about that? Yeah.
I make a motion, we close the public hearing and second reading of ordinance 2020-13.
Second.
Motion made and second to close the public hearing, second reading of ordinance 2020-13. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next item is to act upon adopting ordinance 2020-13.
Make a motion that we approve or adopt ordinance 2020-13.
Second.
Motion made and second to adopt ordinance 2020-13. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I think we finally got it done.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, next item, conduct public hearing on ordinance 2020-18 on proposed annexation of 116.42 acre tract of land, the north portion of 159.35 acre tract of land according to that certain warranty deed recorded under clerk's file number 176013, the official public records of Dalton County, section 5, block 48, HNTC, Dalton County, Texas, and being further described by means and bounds.
I make a motion that we open public hearing on ordinance 2020-18.
Second.
Motion made and second to open the public hearing on ordinance 2020-18. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I think all of y'all have a map in y'all's, this is the section of land on First Street out by Stone Leaf Apartments.
Yeah.
And their proposed development right now is for housing development. When they go in there, front part of it is already zoned commercial. And so the rest of it, they're planning on building up to, in the future, up to 500 homes.
Well,
Oh,
They're working with the engineers right now on design criteria and stuff. It'll all have to go to planning and zoning once it's annexed. I thought it had that map in there. It doesn't.
It's on the email.
It was on the first.
which email?
It's in
They've
the-
got-
it's in the first one.
Yeah,
It's in there under,
I had to.
the survey's in there in the map.
Yeah.
I didn't find mine. There it is.
Make
Going
any
down.
questions?
Next one,
There it is.
next one down. It pops up on the side there.
Oh, yeah. I know where that's at.
You know where the Stone Leaf Apartments are at? Is everything all the way back up to basically
Yeah.
the concrete plant.
Yeah. I've sprayed that half circle before. There was no water there, so it's good.
So this will be annexed in with the AO.
Everything comes into open ag.
Yep, okay, goes into open ag, then we have to go to process, okay.
And then it has to be broken up into whatever it's actually the
Okay.
dedicated use. And they'll have to, like I said, they'll have to do a plat, get that to planning and zoning, and they have to approve the plat and design with water, sewer, all of those things.
It was just a question about if it did go in.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just.
You know, the front half of it is already in. You see the map, it's already zone commercial.
James, where's that put us at with being able to provide services, water, sewer?
Right, we have to provide a service plan, which we already have that.
So we have the capacity to do that in that area.
Will, the design that they have to put in is what they have to work on. Their engineer's already working on it with ours.
Okay.
So the water, we have, you know, like I said, they'll have to extend that, but
Yeah.
we have a 10-inch there on Fifth Street. There'll be plenty of water. And they'll just have to extend the lines and things over there to catch that. Sewer is the one that they'll have to build a large wet well and a pump station.
Right.
Their engineers are working on it with ours.
Okay.
And they're liable for the payment for the extensions and all of that, or is it?
Yes. Yeah, the developer, they have the development rules, their engineers going straight off of those. He was given those Keys and Shaw or something like that is the name of the engineer.
So up front, there's basically no cost to the city.
No. The only thing that'd be on the city side is if we chose to, for future expansion, we may want to take that to EDC to upsize those lines for in the future if we're going somewhere further out. And that's some of the things we've done in the past. We'll cross that when we get closer to it though. But their part, they have to do whatever the capacity is. So.
I make a motion, we close the public hearing on ordinance 2020-18.
Second.
Motion made and second to close the public hearing on ordinance 2020-18. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now we're gonna act upon adopting ordinance 2020-18.
Make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2020-18.
Second.
Motion made and second to adopt ordinance 2020-18. All in favor? Opposed? All right, let's annex it.
And once it's annexed, like I said, all services that we provide, law enforcement, fire protection, all those things are extended to out to those areas.
Okay. Next item, consider and act upon recommendation from planning and zoning and conduct first reading of ordinance 2020-19 on the proposed zone change of north 50 foot of lot 8 through 10, block 60, Blair Division, City of Dalhart, Dalton County, Texas, from R3 residential to special use for the purpose of placing a manufactured home.
Make a motion that we open the first reading of ordinance 2020-19.
Second.
Motion made and second to open the first reading of ordinance 2020-19. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
This is an older mobile home, but we asked them to fix it up and they did. Put new windows and repainted everything, did a lot of fixing up on it. And then when they move it, they're still gonna do more, but they made it very nice. So even though it's an older, it looks pretty good.
been good on your end?
Make a motion, we close the first reading of ordinance 2020-19. Losing track here.
Yeah.
Second.
Motion made and second to close the first reading of ordinance 2020-19. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We got a bunch of these tonight. Consider and act upon recommendation from planning and zoning and conduct first reading of ordinance 2020-20 on proposed zone change of lot 3 and 13 foot of lot 4, block 20, Blair Division, City of Dalhart, from R3 residential special use for the purpose of placing a manufactured home.
Make a motion, we open the first public reading on ordinance 2020-20.
Second.
Motion made and second to open the first reading on ordinance 2020-20. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
This is one that he owned personally and he and his wife were living in New Mexico. It's double wide. They're bringing it and it's gonna match all the other, there's actually 4 trailers there. There will be 4 trailers and there's gonna be a property in between. So there'll be 2 with a property in between and they're making them all match. But it's a double wide that was his personal trailer that they're moving in. And like, I mean, again, it's an older one, but it's very nice. Then they're even gonna do more to it when it gets here.
So it meets the criteria of new or like
Yeah.
new.
Everything good on the zoning?
Make a motion, we close the first reading of ordinance 2020-20.
Second.
Motion made and second to close the first reading ordinance 2020-20. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next one, consider and act upon recommendation from planning and zoning. Conduct first reading to ordinance 2020-21, proposed zone change of lot 7 and 8, block 26, Blair Division, City of Dalhart, Dalham County, from R3 residential special use for the purpose of placing a manufactured home. This is 1215 Lincoln.
Make a motion, we open the first reading of ordinance 2020-21.
Second.
Motion made and second to open the ordinance 2020-21. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
This is a new manufactured home.
New one. Okay.
Make a motion, we close the first reading of ordinance 2020-21.
Second.
Motion made and second to
Sorry.
close the first reading of ordinance 2020-21. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's kind of nice when you get down to the bottom of the list here, I guess. Consider and act upon adopting ordinance 2020-22, captioned as followed, ordinance of the city council of the city of Dalhart, Texas, readopting the juvenile curfew ordinance, declaring certain conduct unlawful, providing a severability clause, and establishing penalties for violation of the provisions for enforcement of this ordinance.
Connor's not here, so they have to redo this every couple of years. So we're recommending that you redo the ordinance and keep the ordinance in place.
Read this ordinance to us.
Yeah. Remind us generally what the time frame is for the curfew and,
I'm not sure on that.
So during the week, it's 11. I read it because during the week, it's 11. On the weekends, it's midnight.
okay.
11 to 6,
Until 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
the following day. So
unless it's a holiday or school is out
For
or
work, there's some exceptions,
They're on
exemptions for work.
some kind of,
took me a
School trip
second
or
to
whatever.
find it,
Right.
but I read it. So and it's a good thing to keep them. They say anything after midnight.
that's what my mama said.
I make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2020-22.
Second.
Motion made and second to adopt ordinance 2020-22. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, curfew stands. Number 10, consider an act upon bid for 4th Street brick repair.
I don't know if y'all got a chance to look at your pictures. I'll see if I can
Did.
put these up there.
So did this sag or
Look at
did
that.
they pour them high?
Actually got them up there. What the problem was is there, when they originally put that street in there, the curb and gutter was lower than the rest of the street and it held water. That's why it deteriorated and froze and popped it out so bad. So we adjusted and put the curb as flat as we could to run that down through there. But from the middle of the road to the north side, those brick dive over. And so my guys don't have enough experience laying brick to lay a whole street. They can patch holes and stuff real well, but not doing this. As you can see, there's 4 inches of difference there. And you can see that this is from the alley where it starts. And then basically from this part here to the corner, it's gonna have to be raised up about 4 inches and then tapered to the middle of the road to fix that road right.
They're gonna start where the drain is and then go.
And the drainage, we fixed that now, so it really works good.
They're not gonna do the whole street, just where the
Just-
low spot is.
Just a low spot from the middle of the road on the north side of the road. And it's 28,600 or whatever is a bid that they gave me. So it possibly could take a budget amendment, so I'd like for y'all to do that just in case. If well,
So what's the other option?
the option is,
Taking up the brick and
Leaving it.
paving it?
well,
Oh, man,
That'd be even more expensive, wouldn't it?
yes.
And I don't think we want to do that. Like I said, it's just half a block. And it costs more than that to do, just to tear it out.
Yeah. I know.
And they have some guys that are actually do this kind of work. So. That's
And what was the bid on that?
28,900, I think.
I would make a motion that
28,680.
if we need to make an
28,680.
amendment, do that.
So are you asking us to, just to clarify, to approve the bid or to make an amendment to the budget?
Both.
In case
Approve the
we need
bid,
a
and
budget
it
amendment.
could possibly, because we're
Right.
seal coating this year, but depending on what our prices come in on our seal coating, we might require a budget amendment. So,
So your
My motion is that we would do that, that we would accept their bid, and if we need to make that as an amendment to our budget, we would also include that.
I would second that.
Motion made and second to approve the bid and possibly budget amendment for 4th Street brick repair. Next item, consider next,
All in favor?
oh, yeah. All in favor? Opposed? All right, next item, consider and act upon appointing Police Chief David Connor as local rabies control authority.
Oh, absolutely.
See what happens when you don't show up?
I would I'd make
Yep,
a motion
that's
that we
right.
appoint Police Chief David Connor as a local rabies control authority.
I second that.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I bet nobody opposes that one.
Nope.
Consider and act upon TML health benefits pool changes.
what this is, we're going, TML is going to go to Blue Cross Blue Shield. That's our provider. We really don't have any options, but they want you to okay us to go ahead and go with their plan. They have, they're 3 states across, so they got a lot of buying power, so they can get us a better deal on our insurance, and I think it's going to save us some money in that.
Yeah, the choices are time related, when we actually do it, they're changing no matter what. But they basically said that we needed the city council's approval to change it, and we decided or recommend that we change it right on our budget cycle, because we don't have prices or anything yet. All we know is we're changing, so we just.
And we go through a re-rate, we look at everything at budget time, so.
Yeah.
That's the most appropriate time for us to do it, so that's our recommendation, is to adopt it.
I'd make a motion that we approve the TML health benefits pool changes.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve TML health benefits pool changes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consider and act upon recommendations for disbursement from the Hotel Occupancy Tax Committee.
We did meet, and we would ask that the council would consider the Loretta Theater, XIT Museum, XIT Rodeo and Reunion, and the Dalhart Chamber of Commerce have asked for some monies. And we'd like to go ahead and do the ones that we did last year, the same amounts. And on top of that, there's also a $6,500 Dalhart Senior Citizens Association money that's just there, and we're asking that we move that into the PRC money. And we actually have more money this year in HOTS, and so there'll be some PRC money that if other people need some money, we can do that. So
It's available to everybody through the ZRP, so.
I make a motion that we approve the recommendations for disbursement from the Hotel Occupancy Tax Committee.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the recommendation from the Hotel Occupancy Tax Committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next item, comments from city manager.
Employees are dropping like flies. I think Curtis will be trying to help him if we got to make deliveries tonight. We're OEMs looking at maybe getting, probably Elliot, the attorney, gonna draw up a waiver for people so we can possibly get the churches to help us out with doing it. I mean, we're looking like 160 people we're having to look at for taking care of for the most part. So that's a lot of, I think Curtis has been home maybe at 9 o'clock earliest he gets to get home every night after he gets to work. So trying to figure out a way to help. It's not gonna get any better right now, and we're hoping that 2 weeks from now, we'll have a peak and they'll start breaking back down. But everybody needs to protect themselves as much as possible and your families, so. Like I said, it's hit us. I think we had 10 employees out at one time. So. Everybody be safe. That's about all I have.
So we talked about it yesterday, but we're gonna do a committee,
You need to-
myself, Ron, and need one other person to be on it, to do Rusty, for, I guess, my replacement. So,
And we'll have that
and then we'll
on
have
the
that,
next agenda.
mhm, along with Pro Tem. Be on the next agenda. Am I good with that?
Good with that.
Is that it?
Any ideas?
I will say, we had a talk with Representative Smithy's Chief of Staff this afternoon. We're still meeting with TxDOT, but it sounds like that they've already moved the meeting to the end of this week. It wasn't supposed to be approved until December, and we were hoping we could get some input to get the speed limit lowered all the way to 55. It's looking like we're not going to get that, but it looks like we are going to get it down to 65 out on 281 and 87. We're not happy about it, but they do have a provision in place with Blaine that there'll be a cautionary sign of 55 mile an hour, recommended speed limit that will be posted to try to slow people down a little bit. And then once those signs are up, we'll try to get another study done. So they'll lower it another 10 mile an hour. I don't know when that'll be, but both judges and myself and Smithy have all been hounding TxDOT to try to get that done. So,
They say the lights will start flashing.
they don't tell us
I
that.
didn't say anything about that.
Wendy asked me today, she said, when are they gonna put that one up on 16th? I don't never say that because who knows when they're gonna get to it. Like us, we don't have any employees to do a lot of things right now. And everybody needing help.
Yeah.
So. Spread kind of thin.
Yeah.
So. Keep yourself safe and we don't lose anymore.
We adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?